Welcome into the video, everybody. You're watching Cody on Console, and if you're new here, on this channel, we do everything For Honor. Duels, brawls, discussions, and montages, everything For Honor. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and ring the notification bell to get notified every time that I upload. But today, we got big news in For Honor. It was actually yesterday, I'm recording it now the next day. The Year 4 Season 3 stream, season reveal thing for the Warriors Den happened. And we got map changes, we got new weapons, we got the new battle pass, we got a new game mode, we got all sorts of new goodies. And on this channel, I've been doing a couple videos on each one of those things. I got one of the new weapons, and then this one's going to be about the map changes. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys the map changes that they did. They changed the A and C point on Sentinel, I believe it's called, and they also changed, or they added a new map called Belvedere. It's the Wulin ranked arena setting that they have, which completes the 4 set of all of the ranked duel arenas for each faction in For Honor. So yeah, guys, and I was gonna go and talk about it myself, and show you the map changes and kind of talk about it myself. But after watching the stream or season reveal and going back and trying to edit it up and stuff, it just makes more sense for him to tell you. He is the one who made the map, so I'm just gonna show you guys what you want to see. And here are the map changes for Sentinel and the new map, Belvedere, the new Wulin ranked arena map. Hope you guys enjoy, and if you do, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new, and have a good day.
And, what was the plan with this one?
Okay, well, there's a lot to say about this one, actually. Well, first and foremost, it's the new Wulin arena that will complete the roster of all of our training maps. It's set at the foot of this really majestic temple and overlooking this really beautiful lake filled with landmarks here and there. Everything was created from scratch. We have new assets, new textures. It looks really phenomenal.
And so, Alex, when it comes to these this Wulin arena map, what can you tell us that sets it apart from maybe the other factions, cultures, and the scenery that you would get, let's say, from the Knights' perspective, from the Vikings' perspective, and the Samurai perspective?
Yeah, for sure. What really sets it apart is the richness. And I'm not just talking about the richness in terms of all the intricate sculptures and all of the carvings and the buildings, but also the richness in the colors. We have a much more bright color palette when it comes to dealing with the Wulin. And I think players are really going to dig going in here and having these crazy duels. Speaking of which, this is going to be one of our maps that are going to be showcased for the new rank mode. Mm-hmm. The size of the arena will vary depending on which mode you're playing, so it's gonna change a little bit of that feeling and the strategies. And
this was a map that was produced from your team?
Actually, no. This map was completely done from scratch by our Chengdu team. If you guys didn't know, Chengdu have been working with us almost since the beginning, actually, creating assets and helping us build maps. And characters and a bunch of other things, but this time around they really wanted to take their hand in doing a map from start to finish, so this was the perfect exercise for them. They had done a bunch of prototypes that were really cool in the past, and we said, well, why not, let's go for it, give us a couple pitches, and we went with this one because it really caught us off guard of how majestic it is, and it really gives us the feeling of serenity, and I think they really knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. A massive shout out to the Chengdu studios that worked on the Belvedere.
So we can start right now by taking a look at Capture Zone C. And as you can see here, the outline of the map, the capture zone ends in the back area, and you have to run this entire hall all the way to get to point B or point A. And what we did here is we enlarged this interior portion a lot bigger, and now the capture zone area takes place on the first floor of this tower. And because that's more prominent, it's the more prominent area of the capture zone, we reduced the size of the back area, the balcony area, so that, it's still very comfortable to fight in, but most of it will now flow you towards the rest of the map, towards B and towards A. And you'll see here, this showcases that we removed the second floor from the capture zone area, And we also added these railings so you can't drop attack on people who are downstairs trying to capture the area. So the most important thing that changes is that you can no longer use the ballista and capture the zone at the same time. You'll have to make a choice. Do I want to go up, leave the zone open to be contested, or perhaps if you're two players of two teammates, one can stay below and boost, and the other can go upstairs and use the ballista and try and find some targets. So I think that presents a much more interesting dynamic to choices in this map. Instead of, boom, I captured the area, I'm going straight to the ballista because I can boost it at the same time. So yeah, I think this is quite a drastic change from what's on live right now. And speaking of drastic changes, we can now take a look at what we did. Here you see the ballista in the middle and these two boring towers on the sides. And what we did was, boom, we opened them up to zip lines.
Zip lines.
So these zip lines have two very important uses. One being that if you're on the ballista on the second floor and you don't have any target to shoot at, you don't have any easy means of going anywhere else other than downstairs back to the capture zone area you were already in. So now we allow you to move very quickly from the ballista to other parts of the map. Let's say if you don't have any targets to shoot at anymore. And also the other area in which these come in handy is that since we now pushed the capture zone outline all the way to that exit on the first floor, the opposing ballistas could easily predict where you're going to come out of. But because now we added two zipline exits, the opposing ballistas will have to ping pong their targeting between those different areas to kind of guess where you might be coming out of.
Yeah, I really like the zip lines too because it just gives more tools to the player to decide, okay, well, will I go into the ballista? Okay, I won't be trapped here anymore. So now I can either fight them or I can just use the zip line to get out really quickly.
Exactly.
And also it helps promote map rotation because they'll be able to travel faster from point C to mid and then etc. from there.
Exactly. So I think there'll be a lot less camping of areas that you're in, and yeah, like you said, promote those rotations. So much like the Warmonger here, who's running over to A, let's go take a look at the changes we made to capture point A. So this was one of the smallest capture zones in the entire game, I would say, and one of the most dangerous ones too because of the ballista and the ledge. And what we did here was really utilize that space in the back, and we doubled the width of those stairs. And so you see we had this path that was running behind that was really somewhat useless. And so that allowed us to really take advantage of that space and use it better for the capture zone, enlargement of the capture zone, which also allowed us to add a Brazzero in the middle, which not only serves as a critical landmark, but will also provide you with cover from ballista fire if you're standing behind it. So
Just
positioning yourself.
Just to be clear, the Brazzero is the fire pit that's in the middle.
Yes,
right?
yes.
I learned that word. So
that's the word I learned that word when I got on For Honor, and yeah, it doesn't seem to be a word many people use.
Until now.
Yes. So yeah, I think it'll be a lot more interesting in terms of positioning yourself, and and this new revamped capture point A will also be there in Duels and other game modes. So, speaking of which, we can take a look at Duels. So these changes we made to this top portion of the tower area, which was unique in Duels. There was a trap floor that would open up in between both characters, and since you already have a ledge on behind each character, we felt that having that trap floor was just overkill and didn't allow people to navigate comfortably in that fighting space. So now it'll be much more comfortable to navigate in that area.
Yeah, I can imagine it must be frustrating for especially players who are starting out, where with the chapter opening, it's like they'll both run up, one person guard breaks,
Yeah.
the other person doesn't guard break, and then they just get
Right.
thrown out, and then that's it. That's the 10 minutes, and you're like, what? I didn't even get to duel. So
Exactly. And as I mentioned, there's already 2 ledges on that area, and so I don't think we really needed that trap floor there anymore.
Yep.
And we made one more change to duels. We can show the next video. Yes, so this was a giant area in the defender courtyard, and it was really big for duel, and so we moved it to the new revamped tower interior, which I think is a lot more interesting for a duel space than that giant courtyard. Which brings us to the next video, which is Brawls. Brawls had the opposite problem. You were in the interior tower, which separated both players, and now we moved it to the interior, to the defender courtyard, which is a lot more spacious and spawns players in close proximity of each other.